Mamata Banerjee in Darjeeling is listening to you. Well, I hope Mamata Banerjee, Justice Ganguly is listening to you. Strong words coming. Someone has to be held accountable after what's happened in Kolkata today. We'll wait and see whether Mamata Banerjee's government is willing to act. Let's turn from Bengal to Tamil Nadu, where a controversy of another kind has been brewing for the last 24 hours. A 28-year-old woman studying in Canada, remember, was arrested on Monday in Tuticorin after she raised slogans calling the BJP government fascist at an airport. Lois Sophia raised the slogans in the presence of the Tamil Nadu BJP president Tamilisai Soundararajan after the flight landed in Tuticorin and later at the baggage collection point. An upset BJP leader filed a complaint that led to the arrest of the student. This morning Sophia was out on bail, but the political temperature in Tamil Nadu is rising. It's our other top story tonight.
Massive ruckus at Tuticorin Airport. A heated argument between Tamil Nadu BJP chief and a student. 28-year-old arrested for heckling Tamilisai and raising anti-BJP slogans. First, Sophia tweeted, wondering if she would be thrown off the plane if she heckled the BJP leader. Then she went ahead and did so. Sophia verbally attacked the BJP Tamil Nadu chief inside the plane that was flying from Chennai to Tuticorin. Lois Sophia shouted fascist BJP government down at the airport again in Tuticorin, while she and Tamilisai Soundararajan were waiting to collect their luggage. The BJP leader lost her cool and entered into an argument with Sophia. Soon after the argument, Sophia was arrested and charged with causing public nuisance and for causing breach of public peace.
The word she used, that itself is a wrong word. Then it's what is the difference? What is that? Why I'm telling? I'm not telling it's a fascist wrong word. She cannot criticize. Why they want to shout inside the flight?
Her father had a different take on what happened. He said his daughter had moved away after raising the slogan once.
Tamilisai அவர்கள் வந்து என் மகளை கடந்து வரும்போது பாசிச பாஜக அரசு ஒழிகன்னு சொன்னான். அதை தவிர்த்துட்டு வேறு எந்த வார்த்தையும் சொல்லலை. அந்த அம்மா முறைச்சி பார்த்துட்டு போயிடுச்சு. போய் ஏர்போர்ட்டுக்குள்ளே வந்தவுடனே தமிழிசையும் சரி அவங்க தொண்டர்களும் சரி 10-20 பேர் எங்களை கூடி நின்றுட்டு என்னுடைய மகளை.
Arrest of the young student Sophia is definitely an overreach, and I see it as a frivolous criminal complaint that should not have been acted upon at all.
Though she has been granted bail, her arrest has triggered a massive political war. DMK chief MK Stalin condemned the arrest of Sophia. In a tweet, he accused the state government, termed it as an act against freedom of speech and democracy. So did Neta-turned-politician Kamal Hassan and other opposition leaders.
What happened in Tamil Nadu yesterday on that flight from Chennai to Tuticorin was not only an assault on the freedom of speech and expression, it was an assault on the Constitution of India.
This is becoming the trend for the BJP. They are not simply able to digest any criticism. You criticize the government, you are being called an anti-national. You say something against their policies, you are called as an urban Naxal.
This is democratic country. If at all any different opinion about the party and the anti-party, anti-people activities, you can put a stage and deliver, but not straight away raising oceans.
We have to investigate who this lady is, because if she's coming from Canada, then she could be very well LTT, because a lot of Tamils in Canada are LTT people.
Sophia's arrest have raised several questions about the freedom of expression being trampled. How could Sophia's verbal attack possibly threaten public peace in aircraft and airport? Has this drastic action against Sophia simply proved her point? With Lokpriya in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's raise the big questions then tonight. Did the BJP score a self-goal here? Did Tamil Soundarajan score a self-goal? Has the BJP come across as a result as an intolerant party? Is the BJP scared of criticism? Was the 15-day jail remand for the student excessive? Was the student's conduct irresponsible and undignified? Some of the questions we want to raise. Joining us now, Tamilsai Soundarajan, who I spoke to a short while ago. Also joining us, Abhinav Chandrachud, the young lawyer who's written a book on free speech. Joining me also, senior advocate Aryama Sundaram. I am joined by Narayan Tirupati, spokesperson of the BJP, and Khushbu Sundar, spokesperson Congress. But listen in first to Tamilsai Soundarajan, because I asked her, what exactly happened, ma'am? What we are told, she raised slogans twice, once after the plane landed and the second time at the baggage collection point. Did you overreact?
No, she was raising the slogan inside the flight. My allegation is she cannot be a passenger, and she has tweeted 10:20 was the flight, and 10:20 she tweeted saying that Tamilisai is inside this flight. I am going to raise a slogan: BJP, RSS, Modi government, fascist government, down, down. I am going to raise a slogan. Will the flight authorities chuck me out from the flight? I am asking, can she tweet like that? It's a pre-planned activity. Seeing it's not a just emotional outburst seeing a leader. It was a pre-planned activity. Because of that only, because of the unruly behavior, one, and because of her behavior, because of her words, and because of her activity, I suspected some organizations may be behind her. She may be motivated by some organization, because as a politician I can judge whether it's an innocent person, whether it's a co-person, co-passenger, just with outburst of emotion seeing a leader. It is not like that. So
Tamilsai
I suspected that and I lodged a complaint.
Tamilsai Soundarajan, she was a young woman with her father. The flight was stationary at the time. I'm not justifying the slogans, but as a politician, you must face a lot of sloganeering. Why were you particularly upset with her? What made you so angry? You in the video seem to be saying nobody who says fascism can be innocent. Are you saying anybody who protests against fascism is anti-national, is not innocent? This is where the problem is coming.
Whether it is 25-year-old or 18-year-old, what is this now? Whether it is a student or female or 25-year-old, they can do anything. I'm also a female politician. Behavior is wrong. Over maybe, whether it's a student, whether it's a whether it is a 25-year-old or 30-year-old lady, behavior was wrong. The way she behaved was wrong. She was holding her fist, gesturing, and she was moving towards, and she was raising slogan inside a flight. Is it tolerable? Can anyone excuse this?
One final question. What exactly are you accusing Louis Sophia of? Are you casting doubts that, did you think she was part of the anti-Sterlite protesters in Tuticorin? Some reports say you called her a terrorist.
I didn't tell particular organization. I'm suspecting some organization maybe at the back of her. I'm asking, why did she tweet? Is she intentionally misbehaved towards the leader? Can I tolerate that? And apart from that, I am asking, if I am as a co-passenger, as a flight passenger, I also have the right. When she has the right to raise the slogan, I also have the right for a peaceful travel. When I am disturbed, even an ordinary person, when she is disturbed by some other person inside the flight, it is their right to lodge a complaint. What I did was that.
Okay, so you were disturbed and you lodged a complaint. Let me then set the stage to get in our other guest. Khushbu Sundar, now listen, you've heard what Tamilsai Soundarajan has said. She says this girl she feared was associated with a particular organization. She could cause her physical harm, and it was being done at an airport in the flight where clearly air safety rules operate?
I completely agree, Rajdeep, to that. But then listening to Thamizhai Soundararajan ji, I definitely do not understand as to what is she more offended about. She calling the BJP fascist, or she calling it? She calling out the slogans in the aircraft. So there's a confusion. She should be clear what she wants to say. But having said that, I think if the girl has tweeted, then she was clear what she was doing. If she had to cause a problem, she wouldn't have tweeted. It was a very innocent tweet which she had tweeted.
Should she have done what she did in the flight? Are you defending it?
Handle which is a platform which is there for everyone to see.
Are you defending it?
No, I'm not defending it.
If
I'm
saying shouted at you in the flight, what would you do?
It was not.
If someone shouted at you in a flight, what would you do? What would you do?
I think I would try to see. It was not a personal attack. It was not a personal attack on Thamizhai Soundararajan. It was not a personal attack, character assassination of Thamizhai Soundararajan. It was not a verbal abuse on Thamizhai Soundararajan. It was not a physical attack on Thamizhai Soundararajan. It was about the governing body of the country. People have voted you to govern the body, and if they are unhappy about it, I think they have all the rights to criticize it.
On the flight
if the
itself?
flight was on air, if they would have caused a problem, if a slogan would have caused a problem, I'm sure if it was flying, it was stationed, people were deplaning, they were deboarding, and if there was a problem, I'm sure the aircraft would have taken an immediate action on it. With 24 hours, and the aircraft has not filed any complaint. The air hostesses and the people, the crew has not filed any complaint because they were the first people. We have seen it in previous times. How as soon as a drunken passenger, who probably we saw somebody was trying to molest a little girl on flight, an actor, and that was complaint was filed. Or we have seen things earlier that how somebody was deplaned. But this is not something where the aircraft or the crew has complained about.
Let me take that to
So I think she was within the parameters of her freedom. If she was not, then I'm sure they would have filed a complaint.
Narayan Tirupati, quickly respond before I go to the lawyers, because look, Narayan Tirupati, here is a young woman. She has her views obviously about the BJP. She expresses them. Maybe she uses the wrong platform, you could argue, that when a plane is deboarding or at the tarmac, that's not the place to do it. But either way, wasn't this an overreaction? To file a criminal complaint, to get the girl put in judicial custody, was the BJP leader or you or your party trying to send out a message? You can't call us fascists. No. And if you call us fascists, you will be taught a lesson.
No, Rajdeep, and when she called her a fascist in the BJP, in the flight, she maintained silence and she came down to the airport. Even in the airport, after going to the airport, this girl started shouting and saying that it is a right. So she was trying to again intimidate, she was trying to again, have some kind of rough things.
How does she intimidate? No, how does she intimidate? No passenger, no airline, the airline has not filed a complaint.
Yes.
No co-passenger has complained.
Soundararajan gets intimidated by a normal human being.
Shall I? I think
Narayan Murthy ji, Thamizhai Soundararajan, the state president of the BJP is intimidated by a normal person.
Allow me to finish. Okay.
Yes.
She had very clearly said when they were getting out of the plane, she was in the seat number 3 and the other girl was in the seat number 8. Dr. Thamizhai Soundararajan made it very, very clear. Even she airport and this Tuticorin airport is a very small airport. What we are seeing in the visual is, it is only a small room. The airport is very small. So she was trying to go to the airport authority room to give a complaint. So she was being stopped by a policewoman saying that don't give complaint, you go out. That is what the policewoman was trying to do. In spite of that girl shouting against Dr. Thamizhai Soundararajan and the party, she wanted to give a complaint. It is her right. And she felt disturbed as a passenger.
She was
the
disturbed.
Problem is that
she was disturbed.
The problem is that, one second, Rajdeep. The problem is that she said activist. She was an activist. Please go through her Twitter page.
So what's wrong in being an activist?
And
what is wrong in being an activist? Is there something wrong in being an activist?
Nothing wrong. Nobody blamed. But why did she? Nothing wrong. Nobody countered that. But today, before 2 hours, she has deleted everything. She has deleted her account. That is the thing. What
Okay.
is there? Why should you do that?
Okay,
Why should you do that?
1 minute,
That is
Narayan
the
Tirupati.
problem.
1 minute now.
Yeah.
You've made your point. Let me, 1 minute. Let me for a moment get the legal perspective because the politicians will have polarized views. Let's start with you, Aryama Sundaram. Your sense of what happened. Do you believe that this is a case of overreach, both on the part of the Neta and on the part of the magistrate who gave 15-day judicial custody? Or is it setting a strong example that when you are on a flight or at the airport, there is only so much you can say or do? You can't take the law for granted, the DGCA rules for granted.
Rajdeep, I don't think there's any question, but this is a very strange way of dealing with things. Let's understand the whole thing in perspective. Till I heard both Ms. Sundararajan and the BJP spokesman, I may have thought that some kind of criminal act could have occurred, which could have resulted in the lady being taken before the magistrate and a complaint. But after hearing them, it's very clear that no criminal act has been committed. And let me tell you why. You see, if there was threatening or intimidation, and Ms. Sundararajan felt intimidated, threatened, in fear for her life, and then she gave a complaint, or of her limb, she gave a complaint, it's understandable. But from what she has said, she objected to the slogan and what was being said. Now let's understand one more thing. What would normally happen? Assume people are shouting in a very loud voice in an airplane. This happens all the time. You call the cabin crew and tell the cabin crew, please ask them not to shout like this. That's one thing. Here she was not angry with the volume of the shout. She doesn't say she was angry because somebody was shouting in the plane and disturbing her. What she says is, she was angry with what was being said. Not the action of shouting, but what was being said. And she in fact said, if somebody insults my government, if somebody insults in this manner and says fascist, then I am definitely aggrieved. And that, according to me, is very fascist in itself. If you want to prove your own fascism, what is fascism? With great respect.
You're
with
using very
respect,
strong language.
What is fascism?
You're saying
fascism
this is a reflection of a
if anybody
fascist
speaks
approach
against a state,
you're saying
I am using this.
Yes.
No, I am not. I am saying by acting like this, you are actually saying, if anybody criticizes me, I will use police power. Now please tell me in English what this means, Rajdeep. If I was to say, if anyone criticizes me, I can use police power to suppress them. Now please tell me what is the English expression for that.
Okay, I get your point.
You please tell me.
I get your
What's
point.
the English expression?
I get your point. You seem to be suggesting that Tamil Soundarajan's attitude was fascist in itself. Your point is taken. Abhinav Chandrachud, let me though turn, since you've written an important book on free speech, does this qualify within the reasonable restrictions that Article 19 of the Constitution would have, that you're on an aircraft, you put out a slogan like this, given also what the DGCA rules say, which very clearly say unruly behavior on board an aircraft has been declared as an offense and as a punishable act? Do you believe somewhere that this is a reasonable restriction on free speech?
So according to me, I don't really think, based on what I've heard, this constitutes anything that may be considered a reasonable restriction on free speech. So, public order is considered an exception to the right to free speech under Article 19(2). But if you consider something very interesting, which is that, all airlines have the power to declare a passenger an unruly passenger. So this lady could have been put on a no-fly list if she behaved in an unruly manner. I don't think she was. So the fact that she raised some slogans, some casual slogans, doesn't really indicate that she disturbed the public order. And mind you, the Supreme Court has held that slogans like Khalistan Zindabad are not, they don't affect the public order.
But Abhinav, the fact that she did it on the aircraft, the fact that she did it while she was on the aircraft, albeit stationary or at the tarmac, does that change anything?
Well, if she repeatedly and persistently did it, and despite the fact that air hostesses or the airline crew asked her to stop and she didn't stop despite that, then it could have been considered as something that could be said to be an unruly passenger. So she could have been put on a no-fly list. But the fact that none of this happened seems to suggest that this was really a casual slogan that was being raised a couple of times. And really, I'd like to say one more thing, which is I wish that our politicians would remember the words of the great Justice Krishna Iyer, which is, he said that, the dogs may bark, but the caravan will pass. And I'm sure he used the word dogs in a very fond manner. I'm very fond of dogs. But the mere fact that someone says something shouldn't really affect you as a politician. Another saying comes to mind. The words of Justice Murphy of the American Supreme Court, that silence and a steady devotion to duty are the best answers to irresponsible criticism. So merely because someone is criticizing you in a way that you don't find conducive, that doesn't mean that you should just have that person imprisoned. And I'm not upset with the politician for filing the complaint. I'm upset with the police for acting on that complaint.
That exactly is Tamil Raj Soundarajan. And this is again, remember, this is a recorded version. I want, this is what I asked her. You are listening to all this. Now you have been saying some organizations were behind the student. What were you trying to say? Are you saying that she's an urban Naxal tomorrow? Next thing you'll say that. This is the point. You are seen to have overreached.
This is all your views, pa. Don't put your views in my mouth and try to express that. I clearly say I am very clear in my stand. Her behavior was very unruly and the mode of activity was suspicious. I strongly suspect some organization at the back of her. She may be motivated by some organization, and I strongly condemn. She has tweeted saying that I am a co-passenger and I am going to do that, and she did that. So these all suspicious activities. So it was my duty to lodge a complaint. I lodged a complaint. I left the place. It was up to the police officials to take further action. They took further action, which I was not aware at all.
You are harassing. You are effectively accused today of harassing the student. You are using your power as a neta. Imagine, would an Aam Aadmi be, you shouted at an Aam Aadmi, would the police accept the criminal complaint? Would a magistrate put the Aam Aadmi put you in jail for 15 days? You misused your right, madam. That is the problem. You overreacted.
No, it is a fabricated and it's a false complaint because they want to rebut in some other way. I am asking if they were hurt by the party workers. Actually, I silenced them. They didn't. Actually, the way they behaved in a way which was written by her father. And another thing I want to ask you all, what's the time of the complaint? If she was really accused, he was offended, he should have lodged the complaint in the morning itself.
Madam.
It's a counter complaint.
Madam.
That's all I can say.
Do you welcome criticism or not? You can't even stand a student who says down with the government. I mean, come on. Tamil Soundarajan, you are a senior leader. You are supposed to be in public life.
I totally agree because I respect my Honorable Prime Minister. But what he told means this is wrong.
Yeah, Prime Minister Modi said you can stand criticism.
This I find it as a fault. This I pinpoint it. Like that, it is not raising slogans. Like that, down, then. It is healthy. Is it healthy? You pinpoint. What is the problem? Even in Tamil Nadu BJP, you pinpoint. I want to pinpoint this. You correct it. You do that. That is the method which our Honorable Prime Minister told. It's not raising slogans.
Khushbu Sundar, you've heard Tamil Soundarajan once again. Is it at least partly the case that the Congress is also exaggerating it, saying undeclared emergency in the country? Let's be honest, Congress leaders in the past have also used their VIP status to harass people. Facebook posts in the past have led to arrests.
Rajdeep, I will insist that if there is a personal attack on an individual which goes beyond the freedom of expression, of speech, and under the democracy and the constitutional right of Article 19, then it's an act of an offense. This is not an individual, threat to a person. This is not about a single person, an individual. You say that this is about me. This is about a party, and that's where our democracy allows us to have a criticism. And if a party cannot take a healthy criticism, if a party cannot take down slogans,
right,
we wouldn't have even gained this freedom what we are talking about today. India gained freedom. India, we got freedom from the Britishers because we were
the Congress
strong
party
enough to raise slogans against them.
Okay, I hope that the Congress party party will be just as tolerant if slogans are tomorrow raised against the Congress party. I hope that the Congress party will be just as tolerant if slogans are raised against. Okay. Well, I've given you examples. There have been Facebook posts that have been put out against your leaders when you were in power.
Individually, we have been called up at ISIS. Absolutely.
Okay, let me bring in therefore, let me get concluding remarks from our lawyers.
You raise it against a party, we don't have an issue.
Okay, let me get 30 seconds each from you first, Aryama, and then you, Abhinav Chandrachud. Aryama Sundaram, what's the lesson here? What's the lesson here for the magistrate in particular who gave 15 days judicial custody based on the fact that Article 290 was being used, public nuisance. She was supposed to be causing a public nuisance. Magistrate said 15 days judicial custody.
Well, I would only say from what I have just heard and what Ms. Sundarajan said, there was no public nuisance. It was a woman who actually decided that she was going to raise a slogan against a party because the party representative was there. In any event, I do not believe this is something which entailed 15 days judicial remand for this complaint to be taken. It was the way it was. On the other hand, the way the police lady reacted was the correct way. When she was asked to take the complaint, she reacted perfectly. And finally, I just want to say that, look, please, let's not bring intolerance to such a level in this country that we cannot even tolerate somebody who is raising a slogan. Surely a person can raise any slogan, but is it that it's so you get cut so quick to the heart by that you immediately need to employ the police force to suppress such a thing?
Point taken, therefore, point taken, sir. I'm running out of time.
I think this is a great eye-opener to us as to where we can go.
Abhinav Chandrachud, you know, there are those today who are on social media are saying, look, if the same thing happened in the US, the person would be immediately arrested. After 9/11, airports are seen as a high security zone. You have to be very careful. What would you say to them? When you look, because you've looked at comparisons, what would you say? Is this a case which fits in within those who would say post 9/11, airports are places where you can't raise slogans?
Well, the US tends to be an outlier because there even Nazi slogans would be considered to be okay. Really, I think that what we need to remember is that, look, you may disagree with what this lady said. I mean, I may disagree that the BJP government is a fascist government. I may not believe that. But that lady had a right to say what she did. And I feel the politician should have tried to argue with her, she should have tried to reason with her, or she should have just walked away. But there was no reason for her to get that annoyed and file a police complaint. And worse, there was no reason for the police to act upon that complaint on the basis of the fact that there was just a few casual slogans that were raised and nothing more. No one took any overt action. There was no violence or threat of violence.
Okay, fine words on which to end this talking point in a week, of course, where, remember, or just a few days ago, another Chandrachud, Justice Chandrachud, had said, dissent is the safety valve of our democracy. Thank you all very much for joining me on my talking point, my take.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.